Did you hear about the comic book that went to a psychiatrist? It had too many issues. Pause for laughter. You see, that's the thing about comics. They're not just about superheroes in spandex or anthropomorphic animals on wild adventures. They're filled to the brim with issues, and not just the kind you buy at the store. Now let's set the stage for a comic tale that will tickle your funny bone. Picture this, a world where humor and hijinks take center stage, where the punchlines punch hard, and the gags are as plentiful as the panels. This is not your average comic book story. Oh no, my friends. This is a narrative that dances on the line between the absurd and the hilarious, that throws caution to the wind and embraces the wild, wacky, and whimsical. So brace yourselves, folks. Tuck in your laughter, hold on to your sides, and maybe keep a cushion handy for when you fall off your chair laughing. Now fasten your seatbelts. We're about to dive into a world of whimsy and wit. In the world of comics, characters often come with their own quirks and eccentricities. Let's dive into the pages of our comic book and meet our delightfully eccentric cast of characters. Each one carefully crafted with their own unique traits, and each one bringing their own brand of humor to the table. First up, we have our protagonist, a seemingly ordinary fellow with an extraordinary knack for finding himself in the most absurd situations. With his quick wit and even quicker reflexes, he often finds a way to turn even the most dire of circumstances into a laugh-out-loud moment. His charm lies not just in his humor, but in his ability to remain unfazed in the face of utter chaos. Then we have his sidekick, a lovable goofball whose heart is as big as his appetite for adventure. And let's not forget his uncanny ability to misinterpret even the simplest of instructions, leading to some truly hilarious mishaps. Despite his bumbling ways, his loyalty and good-natured spirit make him an endearing character. Next, we meet our comic's resident know-it-all. With an answer for everything and a fact for every occasion, she often finds herself the butt of jokes, yet her unshakable confidence and unwavering belief in her vast knowledge make for some amusing interactions and surprising plot twists. And finally, we have the villain of our story. But in true comic fashion, our villain is far from terrifying. With grandiose plans that often backfire and a flair for the dramatic, he's more likely to induce fits of laughter than fear. Each character, with their unique quirks and eccentricities, brings a different flavor of humor to our comic story. They're as diverse as they are hilarious, each one playing their part in making the narrative as engaging and entertaining as possible. With such a motley crew, you can bet we're in for a hilarious ride. So our eccentric characters are now set on their journey, and oh boy, it's a riot from the word go. As we dive headfirst into this comic escapade, let's not forget our uniquely quirky characters. They've embarked on an adventure that's as unpredictable as they are, and it's a wild ride from the start. Their journey begins with a series of hilarious misunderstandings that are as comic as they are chaotic. Imagine this, a superhero who keeps forgetting his superpower, a villain with an uncanny knack for tripping over his own cape, and a sidekick who's more interested in his sandwich than in saving the day. Yes, our beloved characters are as endearing as they are entertaining. As they navigate their way through this comic universe, they encounter an assortment of oddities that only heighten the hilarity. From stumbling upon a secret lair that turns out to be a laundromat to a high-speed chase with a runaway shopping trolley, it's a series of comic misadventures that keep you chuckling. The dialogues, oh, the dialogues, they're a laugh riot in themselves. Picture a superhero and his sidekick arguing over the correct way to wear a mask, or a villain monologuing about his evil plans, only to be interrupted by a reminder to water his plants. The humor is sharp, the wit is biting, and the banter is endlessly entertaining. And then there are the unexpected encounters. A chance meeting with a grumpy granny who turns out to be a retired superheroine, a run-in with a moody Martian who's actually a misunderstood musician, and a surprise showdown with a villain who's more interested in baking than in world domination. It's these delightful detours that add an extra layer of comic charm to our story. Even as the laughter echoes and the comic chaos unfolds, there's a sense of camaraderie that binds our characters together. Their quirks, their blunders, and their shared sense of humor create a bond that's as strong as it is funny. And that, my friends, is just the beginning of this laugh riot. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this comic tale is about to take some wild twists and turns. Now, you're probably thinking that our quirky characters have settled into their roles, but oh no, they're just getting started. You see, a comic story isn't just about the laughs and the gags, it's also about the unpredictability. It's about those unexpected moments that catch you off guard and make you choke on your popcorn. And this story, my friends, is full of them. In the heart of our tale, our characters find themselves in situations that are as bizarre as they are hilarious. Imagine, if you will, a superhero who's afraid of heights, or a villain who's allergic to his own evil lair. It's these sorts of outrageous scenarios that give our story its unique charm and humor. But it's not just about the situations, it's also about the reactions. Our characters, bless their hearts, are never quite prepared for what life throws at them. Whether it's a sudden plot twist or a surprising revelation, their reactions are always priceless. There's nothing quite like the look of surprise on a hero's face when his secret identity is revealed, or the shock of a villain when his master plan backfires. And of course, there's the banter. The witty exchanges, the sarcastic remarks, the playful teasing. It's all part of the fun. It's this blend of humor, surprise, and unpredictability that keeps us hooked, that makes us turn the page, that makes us laugh out loud. But remember, the best is yet to come. The twists and turns are just the beginning. The real fun starts when our characters find themselves in hot water, when they're backed into a corner, when they're forced to think on their feet. That's when the true hilarity ensues. That's when our story really comes to life. Just when you thought it couldn't get any funnier, our characters prove you wrong. As all good things must come to an end, so does our comic caper. But don't worry, it's going out with a bang. Our quirky characters, who you've come to know and love, are about to wrap up their escapade in a way only they can. Now imagine this. Our hero, known for his clumsy antics, attempts to save the day. In a turn of events that can only be described as comic genius, he slips on a banana peel, sending him spinning like a top. Just when we think all is lost, his wild spinning unexpectedly disarms the villain. It's a ludicrous solution to a high-stakes problem, but somehow it works. Then there's our sidekick, the one who's been providing comic relief throughout the story. In an ironic twist, it's his well-timed joke that finally diffuses the tense situation. It's a testament to the power of laughter, reminding us that humor can often be the best weapon in our arsenal. As for our villain, his downfall is as hilarious as it is satisfying. Just when he thinks he's gotten away, he's thwarted by the most unlikely of things, a forgotten shoelace. He trips, stumbles, and falls right into the arms of justice, the menacing villain brought down by a simple shoelace. It's a punchline that no one saw coming. In the end, our characters find themselves in the midst of a laughter-filled celebration. Their journey, filled with twists and turns, has reached a conclusion that's as funny as it is heartwarming. The friendships they've formed, the lessons they've learned, and the laughter they've shared are all part of their comic legacy. And that, folks, is our comic story. Remember, in the world of comics, the laughter never ends.